the Frontier put out a great article about the incentive package for Canoe, for Stitt. And the article was, I mean, extremely well done. Brianna Bailey wrote it. She's a great investigative reporter, done a lot of great stuff around the state for years and years. But the funniest parts of this were just things like about how this like a quote literally from Stitt's like comms team is that was more for show than substance. It could have been a blank sheet of paper for all we know. And this is talking about how like Stitt went and like fake signed like the deal, for like shareholders and stuff. Even though the Department of Commerce is still working it out, there may not even be a deal, like et cetera, et cetera. So this is just like the recurring thing of like Stitt doesn't know how to govern in any sort of real way. Everything is fake, and it's just like all PR and marketing.
It's PR bullshit. I'm a job creator. But something that like I feel like the most telling part of it was this. And Elon Musk is a dickhead. And he is not actually. I guess he's probably a pretty smart guy. But Elon Musk's big advantage is not that he's some brilliant guy. It's that his daddy had Emerald Mine money. So just so you know, he's a
huge advantage. Yeah,
he's an Emerald Mine heir. I'm sure a lot of us could buy fucking electronic vehicle companies if our daddies had Emerald Mines. So let's just get out the way now before we, worship Elon Musk. But I will say something. He said when I was there when GT Bynum like painted the driller with like Elon Musk's face, which was like creepy as shit. And they were trying to
embarrassing.
Trying to get Tesla to come here. And apparently Musk said this to them. The fundamental problem I have is getting people to move out of California. Austin is one of the few places to which they will move. Now, Austin is, and I'm from Hugo, so and most of my family comes from Texas, so People's Republic of Austin, as they call it, a comparatively liberal spot, right? One of the few places people from California will move, and that's like Elon Musk's problem. So what that tells you is it isn't huge fucking taxes incentives; it's the culture you create. Right. And you have to create a culture where people want to move. People want to move where cultures are understanding. They probably don't want their politicians insulting, going out of their way to insult trans people or calling Asian people yellow. We'll get to that. They want good schools, right? We don't fund our schools enough. Again, we spoke about this a couple weeks ago. If they have an individual in their family who has a severe disability, I think they can get them some fucking help if need be, and it won't take 13, 15, 25 years to get it, right? So the telling thing is it's not huge tax incentives. It's damn near not signing blank sheets of paper. It's not, quote unquote, making a company that doesn't make any fucking money, the Henry Ford of electronic vehicles, right? It's not about luring them to your state. It's about creating a state in which people want to move to. And we on that front, as I said earlier, the only thing Oklahoma seems to be good at is putting motherfuckers in cages. Like if you look at where we are in education, in healthcare, and Stitt signing this piece of paper, by the way, stands in the way of us improving all of that. Right? You want to talk about healthcare? People are concerned about healthcare. He's trying to make Medicaid worse. Right? He's never, in terms of education, is quote unquote protecting parental rights. Another thing we'll get to. Where the fuck was you at when they go to school 4 days a week? Is that important? Like, I'm sure parents, what is their right? You talk about their right to yell and fucking, to yell at school board members. How, do they have a right for the children to have quality educations? Because we don't do that here in Oklahoma for most children. In fact, and again, making it worse, he took from those kids to give to private school vouchers whenever we got the CARES Act money. So he's actively making the things worse that would make people want to come to Oklahoma so we would have good jobs. And companies to follow. That's how you do it. And that's what Musk was. I can't get motherfuckers. I can move to Oklahoma. Motherfuckers ain't coming with me because your state. You're not doing the things to make your state where people want to move. And whether they're tech bros or whomever, we should be trying to create a state where people want to move. And that's education. That's healthcare. And that's all of these things. That's understanding. That's not having bigots. Or oath keepers that are the.
We're gonna get to that. Yeah, I mean, it's like, it really is like Oklahoma just needs to stop having like the inferiority complex and just like have some basic self-respect. Like, invest in yourself. Like, stop. I always try to make this point, like, from an economic standpoint, because people think, like, oh, Oklahoma, we're a poor state. It's like, motherfucker, we are like 30th in GDP per capita. Like, Arkansas is like 47th. You know, Mississippi is 48th or 49th. You know, West Virginia is 50th. We're like 30th. Like, we should be middle of the pack. Like, we're not this, like, destitute state that can't invest in its basic services. Like,
we choose to be. Right? We're not
exactly. It's all public. Yeah.
We choose to have destitute services. I say all the time. In 2003, back when Oklahoma was a socialist hellhole, our top tax earners paid almost 25% more than they do today, and that was 18 years ago. So, like, we're not a destitute state that cannot provide services. We choose not to provide services, and we choose not to make our state attractive for people to come here. That's our choice. That is not something that we have to be doing.
Thanks for watching our video. Please give it a like and hit that subscribe button for more content. If you want to engage with us, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram.